Hey, YouTubers, how's it going? This is Bloodseek, and I gotta thank you guys so much. On my last video about the cougar in my nuts, I got so many thumbs up and a lot of favorites, and I love that. I love that, guys. I got about 44 likes and about 16 favorites, and that's a lot. I mean, normally the only reasons I ever get that many if I have like a really awesome video that I kind of spam out to people. Kind of like my kill streak video, which almost has 100 likes. My domination one has like 40 likes. Some of my Lee's teachings has 50 likes. It's awesome, guys. Now, since you guys like my video so much, I'm gonna tell you guys another story. Another story about a cougar and her panties, her granny panties. So it was actually pretty interesting, pretty funny, pretty hot, pretty sexy. So I'm gonna tell you guys. So get ready. Alright, so one day I was at work, and at Tuesday morning where I work, there's about only 2 guys that work there. It's me and some other dude that's like some depressing little homo kid. Hope he doesn't hear this. But he's always crying about something. And yeah, so basically it's me and him. And one day, I'm stood up the front by myself, my manager's in the back, and I'm sitting there doing my business. Some woman walks in, and I go, greet her, I'm like, hey! How's it going, lady? How's your day? She's like, good. She's like, do you work here? And I'm like, yes. She's like, wow, I've never seen a man at Tuesday morning. Never. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, there's not many, but there's at least 1 or 2 that work in each store. And she goes, wow. She goes, I bet they need one of those big, strong men as yourself to carry those boxes and furniture, don't they? And I'm like, yeah, and I know the truck and some other stuff, but the woman here can do that too. 'Cause, I mean, literally, the woman there can do that too. I mean, they're as strong as I am. Fucking old ladies, hot. But yeah, and I was just like, I was telling her, yeah, that's what we do, but we're here from other reasons too. The ladies are just as strong. Well, one of the ladies is just as strong as us men. So yeah, and I was just sitting there to talk to her for a bit, and she kept on like hitting on me. Well, it seemed like she was hitting on me. And she goes, okay, and she went to go, she started shopping. And she walks into, like, the, garden stuff area. She starts walking around there. And then she comes back, and it's like, you can realize she had, like, some, like, big, great idea in her head. And she goes, where's your women's underwear? And I'm like, down aisle 6. And she goes, and she walks down aisle 6, and she comes back, and she goes, I can't find them. Will you show me? And I wasn't busy, so I'm like, sure. So I go up and I walk up to her, and then I walk her down aisle 6. And for a while, I didn't get what was going on because kind of aisle 6 and aisle 5 kind of blend together a little bit. So I can see how she messed up which aisle was 6. So I went up and I'm like, here's the ladies' underwear, here's the ladies' bras, here's the granny panties. And in the mix of granny panties, there are I don't know what you'd really call them, but I guess like the sexy type of underwear, not thongs or anything. Still granny panties, but like sexy looking. And she picks one of those up and she goes, oh, this is so cute. And I was just like, okay, lady, I'm still standing here, And then some of you guys were asking, well, what does this lady look like? I mean, she could have been pretty hot. You can tell she smoked. She had the smoker's face, kind of the smoker's voice. So, I wasn't too much attracted by her and everything. Because, the smoker face and smoker voice isn't very hot. But she was probably about 55, maybe reaching her 60s type deal. She had a nice body. She still had, her hot, nice chest, nice ass and everything. Not like I was really checking her out. But, yeah, so I was like, okay, lady, there's your underwear. I'm over there when you're gonna check me out, and I'll check you out. And she's like, okay. So she comes up, like, 5 minutes later, brings those sexy pair of underwear that she had, brings them up, and some other pairs, kind of sexy looking, I guess. Like I was really looking or anything. But, yeah, so I check her out, and she kept on going about how the whole man thing, how big and strong they need the men for to lift these things and all this stuff, and how she's never seen one, blah blah blah, and how amazing it is for like 5 minutes. And I check out her underwear, put it in the bag, and she goes, "Can I bring these back if they don't fit?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And these are like these tiny, I mean, they were small underwear. I mean, I couldn't fit into them. Not like I would ever try or anything, but I couldn't fit into them. So she's like, "Okay." And she goes, "Well, when's the next time you work?" And I'm like, "I'll work tomorrow at 3 to close." And she's like, "Okay." So the next day, she comes back, and she brings back the underwear. Okay, and some of you guys are thinking, okay, so she's bringing back underwear that didn't fit. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, okay, first, the thing I never noticed about granny panties, or any lingerie thing that women wear, is that they come on hangers. I noticed before I worked on Tuesday morning, you know, my underwear comes in a package. They never come on a hanger. And so when they came on the we put them in the hangers, like first time, funny story. They're like, "We need some hangers." I find this box of lingerie hangers, and I'm like, "Hey, here's a box of hangers." And they were like, they started laughing at me, like, "Hey, that's lingerie hangers." And I'm like, "Wait, lingerie has its own hanger?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Wow." And like, in my defense, it's always, you know, on the body or on the floor when I see it. But you know what? Let's not get into that. So the lady comes in and she's like, "Okay, well, here's my underwear, and it doesn't fit. It's too big. So I'm gonna go and see if I can find any other type of underwear that I would like." I'm like, "Okay, we'll go and back there and check them out." And you know, when you, okay, this is what was weird. She had the tag on the inside of like the crotch area of like a granny panties. Don't read granny panties. Lingerie. I'm gonna keep on calling them lingerie. So it was like on the inside, like right around the crotch area. And when I picked them up, they were like really hot. Like they recently worn. like literally like 2 minutes ago. And so I picked them up. I looked at the tag. And these are kind of warm. She must have recently had these on, like both of them. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. And so I'm sitting there getting ready, everything ready for the return. And she comes back with like another pair of like extremely sexy pairs of lingerie. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she really likes the sexy type. And she goes, "Excuse me, Mr. Bloodseek." Since I'm not gonna tell you guys my real name, of course you guys already know my real name. "Hello, Mr. Bloodseek, but I really like these pair of underwear. They're really, I like them. I'm talking about the really sexy looking ones. Like they're like Valentine ones, I guess you can say." And so I really like them. I really like them. What do you think? And I'm like, well, if this was like my girlfriend that had these, I would really like them. And she goes, "Would it matter if they were too big?" I'm like, as long as they're not like, you know, falling off, I don't think it matters too much. Depends what you mean by too big. I mean, the point of lingerie is supposed to be tight and sexy. I actually said that because, you know what, it was attractive. But okay, so as I was talking to her, and I think I'm getting done, yeah, so I was talking to her, I told her, you know what, this lingerie is more of the Valentine's, when they said it was too big. Those you have in your hand, they're more of the everyday lingerie people may have. So she's like, "Okay, well, I think I'll take these and return them and blah, blah, blah." So I called my manager. She comes up, and she's like, "Oh, you can't do the return yourself?" And I'm like, "No, I'm sorry. I'm not worthy enough here." She's like, "Oh, that's disappointing." So I was like, "Okay, well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I think I went 58, I can't remember. I went like 58 and 5 or 53 and 5. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the story about the granny and granny panties. Oh, and by the way, I stole the pair of the granny panties. Sniff them all the damn time. Alright guys, this is Bloodseek. I am out. Oh, and I forgot to mention, guys, she came back again and returned the other pair of her granny panties. I love Cougars.